welcome to your day off. My name's Corey. Of course, sitting with my best bud, Tony. What's up, man?
What's going on, bruh?
So we seem to be saying this a lot during the podcast, but this is a long time coming.
Yeah, and you're talking about a woman that is making noise and a strong woman. This is today.
This is today, right?
Yeah, she's doing things that most people, no matter who you are, don't have the guts to do.
1,000%. And I can't wait to get kind of later on in the story, and she can kind of tell us how she decided to tackle this challenge.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. Right?
Ready?
Let's just get right in.
Let's do it.
So today, a little backstory. So I think the first time that I kind of that our guest today came on our radar was she did I guess last June, so June of 2018, right before we went to premiere. She did a post about staying positive and about being a positive role model and being, I think she called it a positive influencer, or how is your influence positive, right? So that shot her into our stratosphere, and it was just really interesting, and I like the momentum that it picked up.
It's funny, we've been talking about her for over a year.
I know, and then I think the first time we met was November, right, when we were in LA.
Yeah,
and we got to hang out with her a little bit, so that was pretty cool. And then she's got some cool stuff coming up real soon that she's going to talk about. And dude, let's just get in. Yeah. So our guest today is Jenny Strebe, and Jenny Strebe is the Confessions of a Hairstylist. Or Confessions of a Hairdresser. Anyways, Jenny, welcome to your day off, man.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. This is so fun. It's
cool, man. Thanks for coming on. What I messed your Instagram up. Is it Confessions of a Hairstylist or Hairdresser, or what is it?
Yeah, it's the Confessions of a Hairstylist. It's so long. And I remember Gerard making fun of me 5 years ago that it was just way too long. And a year ago, he was like, you know what? It worked, Jenny. Well done. So it's just so dang long.
Right. Well done, Jenny.
So you had it right the first time, and then you messed it up.
I messed it up.
Yeah, totally.
In my own way. That's my story, man.
Right.
That's my story. So, Jenny, let's go back a year ago. So, what motivated the positive influencer thing, or then, and were you shocked by the response?
100%. So what really inspired the positive influencer movement is that, I'm kind of old school in the sense of I've been doing hair for a long time. I have a Tony and Guy background. So I worked with Tony and Guy. They were my first job at,
right,
the age of 18. And I just remember always being polished, and they wanted you to always be a good role model and lead a good example. And, with social media, I just felt like there's no need to bash. And I was kind of getting sick of it. And just people like myself and other influencers, I was just trying to encourage them to almost take a pledge that they are going to be a good role model and be positive and not bash others' work. Because as a young hairstylist, it can be really detrimental to your self-confidence if someone tells you that they hate that haircut or that hair color. So instead of bashing people, I just wanted to create something really uplifting. And yeah, it went kind of, I think there was over 4,000 pledges.
Wow. Yeah. You definitely inspired us. We talk about hashtag unfollow negativity. That's one of our main tags and it's, you've been a big inspiration for us when it comes to stuff like that as well. But where did you grow up?
I grew up in Walla Walla, Washington. So really small
That's a
town.
real place?
Yeah, it totally is.
That sounds like a cartoon.
No, I think what is it? Not the Looney Tunes or whatever. They're always quoting Walla Walla. They're always saying they're from Walla Walla or go to Walla Walla, because it's sounds so ridiculous, but it means many waters in native language. So, but yeah, small town girl right here.
Small town girl with lots of water.
Yeah, totally.
And Looney Tunes.
That's why my hair is wet, not because I got out of hot yoga.
Good segue.
Yeah, totally.
So how'd you find our wonderful hair world?
Well, I always knew I was going to do hair. I was definitely one of those people that always played around with her Barbie dolls. And this is going to sound a little corny, but I would always give my friends makeovers, even like second or third grade. And I don't know, I just loved it. And it was very creative. And throughout the years, and I was a total skater chick in high school, and I was always doing like half like one color and the other half a different color. And then I would do all my friends' hair for prom. And I've always known I was going to do hair. Like I just loved how it kind of empowered people feeling good about themselves.
Wow.
Did you do like a high school program, or were you like, you went to like a proper hair school?
No, I went to a proper hair school. So I graduated when I was 17 in Walla Walla. And then I moved to Portland, Oregon. Gosh, I think with like $1,200 in my pocket, and got a studio apartment in one weekend and just enrolled myself into cosmetology school.
That's cool. Is the
Yeah.
school still there?
No, it's not.
So at 17 or 18, why just on your own decided you're going to go up to Portland and go to hair school?
Yeah. Well, because Walla Walla, they had a cosmetology program through the community college, which I think, going there would have totally been okay. But I'm sure maybe you guys experienced this, or some of the people listening, but my family they were kind of disappointed that I wanted to go to hair school. They're like, you're not going to make money. Like, what are you doing? And rightfully, in their defense, like a small town, and this is like 18 years ago, it wasn't looked at like a really highly skilled, or a position, or a profession that you could make a lot of money from.
Right.
So I just wanted to take my career as far as I could go. And I thought going to a bigger city and going to an actual school would improve my chances of, being successful and getting in with the right salon.
Did you feel pressure because your parents felt that way? Did you feel pressure that you had to go in there and kind of prove that you could make money, or that you could prove that you could take care of yourself?
Hell yeah. It's probably why I'm like doing all the crazy stuff to this day. Obviously I know that they're proud of me, and, they would probably be okay if I kind of quit where I'm at. But I definitely think that really helped, catapult my determination into just creating something really great with my career.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you had guts at 17.
Yeah, no doubt. Right.
Yeah. I guess if it's in you, it's in you.
That's it. Why did you pick Portland over like Seattle or something? Or maybe I just don't know the lay of the land.
Or even South.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, to be honest with you, like one of my girlfriends in high school, like she always talked about Portland, and she wanted to move there with me. And so we kind of had this like big plan to do that. And then she didn't follow through. But if I say I'm going to do something, I always do it. Mark my words. So I don't know. I just kind of had it stuck in my head, and I went for it.
And then that was it.
Yeah. I loved Portland. Portland's a rad place for sure.
So how did you connect with TG then, or Tony and Guy? You said it.
So yeah, it's funny because I didn't really know what I was going to do like after cosmetology school. I knew that I wanted to work for some type of apprenticeship program. So I entered every single beauty school competition that I could. I was one of those students. And then I won first place for hair cutting. And I actually had a Tony and Guy recruiter from Portland come up to me and offered me a job. He told me that I would have a job after I graduated, because he loved, what I did on stage. He congratulated me, so on and so forth. So pretty much promised me a job. His name was Victor, but ironically enough, when I graduated and I came knocking on their doors, I did not get hired.
Was it a salon, or like actually working for like Tony and Guy, the company?
Yeah, it was Tony and Guy, the salon, like their salon recruiter. But yeah, I didn't get hired.
Oh, ooh, okay.
Wah, wah, wah. But that's actually how I ended up in Phoenix, though, because since I didn't get hired, I'm so determined, and I was like, F Victor, like I know I'm good enough. And at the time, there was 5 Tony and Guys in the Phoenix, Arizona area. So I saved up some money. I worked at a salon part-time, and then a pizza place, totally random, and saved up money, and then moved to Arizona, and then got hired. And end up being their artistic director and on their art
Well,
team
slow down,
eventually.
slow way
Woo,
down.
woo, woo.
Hold on. So you moved to Phoenix, and
Yeah.
then, but you weren't even hired.
No.
Before you left, so you had to go down there, and then
after he promised her, it's when you graduate, it's yours.
I'm surprised she didn't end up with Bella.
Right.
Yeah.
So then you had to go to Phoenix, and then like beg for a job, essentially.
Yeah, basically. I mean, but the chances were a lot bigger here because there was 5 of them.
Right.
And I feel like there was definitely more opportunities to grow because they are so large here in the Arizona area.
Are they independently owned, or are they owned by the company?
They are franchised.
Okay.
And then, but there's, at the time, I don't know what it is now, but at the time there was just 2 owners of like 5 locations.
Got it.
Yeah.
So do you ever call Victor and say, how you like me now?
No, but I did see them at a Tony and Guy hair show like 2 years after or whatnot. I'm sure they didn't recognize me, but I was with my new Arizona crew and it did feel really good.
Nice.
She's throwing gang signs.
Right.
Yeah.
Arizona, dog, Arizona.
Yeah, totally. And ironically, and I'm probably jumping ahead a little bit, but ironically enough, after all the years passed, I met someone at the park, and it happened to be Effie Davies. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but she's Tony and Guy's like London, like main educator, international. She's won British hairdressing awards. Wow. Anyways, we became best friends like throughout the years. Our daughters are best friends. And I've gotten to assist her at so many events and new London Fashion Week or whatever. So I don't know, ironically enough, like it just kind of all worked out.
That's awesome. Well, when you see a go-getter, you let them go get.
Yeah, when you have that kind
totally.
of determination and drive, you didn't let no, because a lot of people would have like, okay, I'll go somewhere else and just go to a different salon. But you knew what you wanted, and you did what it took to get what you wanted. So that's pretty awesome.
Doubt. That's pretty cool. So how long were you at the salon, and so did you go through like their education program and stuff? Because you were at that point, you were still pretty fresh hairdresser, right?
Yeah. So I went through their apprenticeship program, and it's actually really intense. Every week you have training. I think it was like 3 or 4 hours long. You had to bring a model. You had to watch instructional videos, and then kind of almost have your hand held throughout the hair cutting process. So after the 12 weeks were up, you test out, and then you become a stylist on the floor. So
it was a 12-week program, like a boot camp.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was so long ago. I can't remember all of the other details, but it was really intense. And then of course you had to assist and sweep and all that jazz. Right. So
is it a small community? Do you know like a Kevin Lutchman?
Yeah, Kevin's awesome.
Yeah, we're going to have him on the podcast too. But because he was with TG as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to know, is it a small community, or is it so big that you
don't know anybody, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think in America it's fairly small, and then Europe too. But the Tony and Guys in Europe aren't affiliated with the Tony and Guys in America. I think they once were, but they're not anymore. But I know Kevin; he's awesome.
It's so like the whole Tony and Guy thing is confusing. It's like Tony and Guy or TG or TIGI or whatever. I've always been like massively confused about just all that brand. I mean, listen, they've done really well, but from my own knucklehead, it confuses me.
Yeah, it can get confusing, but I think like unfortunately, money, brothers. One wanted one thing, the other wanted the other, and so that's that.
And the rest is history.
Yeah, totally.
So you said you did a lot of shows and a lot of things with TG?
Yeah, well, I was a part of their art team. And then I was the Scottsdale, Arizona, like artistic director. So I was in charge of education. And that's actually where I kind of developed my passion for teaching, because I really love teaching. And I, did all the things that I could with them as far as like locally Arizona. And then I couldn't go and I did fashion shows, whatever, and I couldn't go any further within them. So you guys going to think I'm really nuts after this. Okay. So I went as far as I could, and I kept on telling people I want more. I want to work with the national artistic team, but you know, there's levels. And I'm a firm believer of taking the stairs, not the elevator, but no one was really giving me the opportunity to like prove myself. So I saved up all my money. I got rid of everything I owned, literally like my couch, my Jeep, like all of the things. And I packed up a backpack and I went backpacking in Europe for 9 months to try to get hired with a toning guy in Europe. And I got hired in Ireland and Czech Republic and Holland. And I chose Ireland to work in. So I worked there for about 3 months and then traveled for the remaining time.
So you worked for TG in Ireland.
So random, I know.
What was that like though?
It was crazy. It was Galway, Ireland. So Galway is on the West Coast and their Irish accents are so thick, you cannot even understand them. Like I couldn't barely even talk to my clients because I had no idea what they were saying. But it was cool. Like, I don't know. It was like, their hair was definitely a lot difficult. I mean, because their hair is a little bit more curly prone. Of course, that was when straightening was like the biggest thing ever. And so you'd spend all this time like blow drying and straightening your client's hair, and then they walk out in the rain kind of thing. So that was annoying, but it was cool. It was like cobblestone roads and just how you would imagine Ireland would be.
Yeah. It's like, did you, who went backpacking with you? Or you just doing it by?
Well, I know. So I went with a girlfriend who actually worked at Toning Guy with me, and we both got hired in Ireland. So she actually stayed in Ireland, and then I was dating my now husband, who's my boyfriend at the time. So he came over, and then we backpacked for a while too.
That's cool. So where'd you backpack through?
Oh my gosh, we went everywhere. England to France to, I went as far as the Ukraine, to put it that way. So I did some humanitarian stuff in the Ukraine. I cut hair in orphanages in the Ukraine. And can I just tell you, every little kid wanted a crazy Billy Ray Cyrus mullet. It was the funniest thing ever. It was like the funniest point in my career, but I was living for it. So, I mean, I was all over the place. Czech Republic.
What did you know how to cut it? Did you know how to cut the Billy Ray Cyrus mullet?
Oh, totally. I mean, I was like, that was Tony and Guy's prime time when we were all about the crazy scenester hair and mullets and stuff. Like, I totally rocked it out.
Yeah, I'm saying, because if she didn't, she would have by the end of it.
Yeah, totally.
No doubt. Well, I mean, they're coming back, man. You see them everywhere now, man.
Totally, right?
Yeah, thing for like Ricky's is kind of a mullet, right?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, and he'll fully admit it too.
Oh yeah, well, nobody owns it like Ricky owns it. Right?
Yeah, seriously.
That's cool. So how long were you in the Ukraine doing haircuts? And like, did you do a lot of humanitarian stuff, or a lot of like orphanage haircuts on your backpacking trip?
Yeah, so I went to the Ukraine twice. And I got connected because one of my clients goes over there like once a year on like a mission. So I got connected with her, and then I just went with their group. They're a bunch of dentists, and then I was, the token hairstylist. And so I went there for about a week, and then came back again around Christmas time and did it again. So I've been twice within like 6 months, I think. So it was cool.
That's pretty
really cool.
Man, that's something I want to do. Just, you know what I mean? Just
put it
pack up. Yeah. And just roll.
Just go. Jenny, we had someone on the podcast, we had a guy on the podcast named Brian Nunes, and Brian, Nunes,
yeah.
Brian Nunes. And he actually backpacked around the world. So he bought
cool.
He bought like an airline ticket. I think he said it was like $5,000. And as long as you kept going east, you could do affiliate flights to go east. But so he would fly from one city to another, and then walk for 500 miles, and then pick up another airplane and keep on going.
Crazy.
For
That's awesome.
Yeah, he did it for a year. Yeah. He had this he had this, what he started doing right when he got into hairdressing was he would put $30 a day into his bank account. And before you knew it, he had like $100,000. And then he took a year off and did his backpack around the world. I thought it's kind of one of the coolest stories I've heard in hairdressing.
Yeah, but it takes a certain type of individual that to have the guts and say, you know what, I'm going to peace out for 9 months, 12 months and come back and I'll make it all happen again.
That is crazy. I don't know. Yeah. So
but I think at the time though, like there wasn't social media. There wasn't like a way to like get out there and like, you know what I mean? So
which would be harder because I think
totally.
Media, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. It takes a lot of, it takes a certain type of person to do something because because a lot of people who lose their clientele because their clientele is not going to stick around for 9 months, waiting for you for 9 months to a year,
no way.
And come back and you know what, no sweat. I'm going to rebuild this thing.
Well, I feel if you don't have any responsibilities, you know, why not? And I think like it was probably the best thing that I could have ever done for myself because small town girl, like I see the big picture. I understand like there's situations happening in the Ukraine that no one here knows about. And so I'm empathetic towards that, you know, and I don't know, I could go on, but I think it was really cool to just see like how different countries are run and different people live. And a lot of people don't like the Ukraine, like they don't have a lot of things and they're really genuinely happy. So I think at the time it was really, really neat experience and it was good for me.
That's beautiful. As the story evolves, I'm in more and more all of you. So
yeah, I am too.
Yeah.
I think they said like when you have nothing, you appreciate joy, right? I think we're missing kind of joy, right? We're always searching for happiness, but where's the joy, right?
Yeah, I mean, they have a certain type of contentment that we don't have.
Right.
Or not we, but like people, you know what I mean? That especially in this country that, you know, I mean, we're constantly working, you know, 24/7, trying to work for something, trying to achieve something, trying to do something, you know what I mean? Instead of just taking step back and take a deep breath and just really appreciate what you have around you.
Absolutely.
Each other. At each other, man.
Oh, aren't you guys cute? Here, wait, where's mine?
Boom. We just fist bumped each other and Jenny.
Yeah.
So Jenny, when you got back to Phoenix, did you were you back in the TG salon, or what was your path?
Yeah, I just worked there for about 6 months trying to get my clients back basically, and then I went to booth renting. So, and that's ultimately like, you know, then I got married, had my daughter Magnolia, and that's kind of around the time that I launched Confessions of a Hairstylist.
What year was that?
Oh man, I don't even know. I've been doing it for 7 years. So what is that? What are we in? I don't even know.
2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah. So what was the original, when you came up with Confessions of a Hairstylist, what was your initial thought about it?
Well, you know, like, I don't know why I have this problem that I always feel like I need more. And I was feeling very stagnant in my career. I was just day in, day out going inside the salon. Again, I had my daughter, so I was working part-time, and I don't know, she would take really long naps and I didn't feel fulfilled. So during the times that she would be napping, instead of cleaning my house or something, I decided to launch a blog. And it was really just for my clients to just get inspiration for new products or new little things they can do on their hair. So I launched a blog. I did a 30-day challenge where I changed my hair for 30 days. And then I kind of got addicted to like the numbers kind of going up. And yeah, it just kind of snowballed into what it is today. So the blog, then people were asking me to do like YouTubes, and then I jumped on YouTube and Instagram, and that's really how it all went down.
That's pretty cool, man.
Right?
It's just kind of funny, you know, like, oh, I'm bored because my daughter's napping.
Yeah, no, but seriously, but you guys know how determined I am, at least now, you know, so I just needed something else. Like it wasn't, and I wish sometimes that I could just be a normal 8 to 5er or 10 to 7 or whatever. But like, I get so bored, and I need projects. I need to feel like, woo! I need to feel like my phone just fell. Sorry, guys.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I just always need something more in my career. So.
Well, I mean, it's driven you pretty far.
Yeah. I mean, if there was a secret for that energy, I mean, it's just that constant energy.
Yeah, no doubt. What, so is booth renting, has it been big in Phoenix, or is it something that, that kind of started at that moment?
I feel like it was just starting at that moment, like, because where I worked was the place to work at the time for booth renting. And now they're all over the place.
Right.
All over the place.
Right.
Yeah, they just recently here in the DC area, probably within the last 5 years, really starting to become popular. But up until this point, I mean, it was, very, very few, if any.
Yeah. No doubt.
Really?
It's interesting. I mean, it's interesting, like, you go to LA and everybody's in the booth, or you go to Florida and everybody's in the booth,
Yeah.
A long time to kind of make it to our area. Yeah,
I wonder why.
I don't know. I often wonder why too. I don't know, maybe laws or something. It's crazy.
Right.
So go ahead.
No, I was just saying, so, the last 7 years you've been in a studio, or you said a booth rent?
Yeah. So I was booth renting, and then one of my girlfriends opened a salon. So I was working at her space. And then I've only worked at like 4 salons my whole hairdressing career. But about 2 years ago, I realized that I just needed my own space. I needed my own studio. And I don't know, because for me, I could only film my YouTubes. And at the time, I was just launching my app. But I just needed more flexibility with my schedule because I have 2 children, and I need a studio I can go and film the videos where I don't have to do it on Sunday. And obviously, if you're going to film a video during working hours, it's a little bit disruptive. So yeah, I definitely need my own studio, and it's worked out great.
That's awesome, man. That's really awesome. So your YouTube videos, are they like educational videos?
Yeah. I have, oh gosh, I don't even know. Like,
bugging you?
yeah, totally. I have like 80 tutorials on there or something. And then I have an educational app too, Confessions of a Hairstylist. That's a subscription app, but they're very educational. The YouTube's more like quickies, like 3 to 4 minutes. And then my app videos are like 20 to 30 minutes long, something like that.
And that's available in the App Store? And is it?
Yeah.
That's cool. So it's the Confessions of a Hairstylist. That's the name of the app?
Yeah. Or it might just be Confessions of a Hairstylist.
She doesn't know the name of her app.
I don't even know. I think it's Confessions of a Hairstylist.
That's cool. Okay. So you've done teaching, you've worked behind the chair, you've done studio, you've been a mom. So what was next? I mean, it seems like you fulfilled or checked all the boxes.
Well, are we talking about Aiir now? Is that where we're going to go?
I think we are. Tell us about that, man.
Cool.
How did the idea of that start first?
Yeah, where did that start?
Well, I was actually approached to start a product line about 3 years ago, and that's never been a dream or a focus of mine. I just felt like it was very out of touch. So I was kind of like, I'm not sure. And so I continued the conversation with this person for a little bit. And then they kind of helped me, figure out what labs I'm going to use and et cetera, et cetera. And then I just got so far into it that there was no going back. But with that being said, what really helped motivate me, and again, this has been a 3-year project, and that was kind of the peak and prime time for working with a lot of different brands. I was getting sponsored left and right. I was being invited to all the events. I was working backstage at New York Fashion Week, London Fashion Week, etc. And I just had this moment where I was like, these brands are great, but something is missing. Like, there's something missing. And I just felt like, not that I could do a better job, but something needed to kind of change. And what I mean by that is that I just felt like, one, the old school kind of mentality is lacking a little bit within brands. And, that probably has to do with social media, influencers, whatever, but that kind of like one-on-one connection with your clients or customers is kind of missing. Like, I went through this time where I felt like working with brands was so transactional. Like, I don't really know if they cared about me or they cared about my numbers. And I didn't like that feeling. So that's actually kind of where I came up with the idea with Aiir, because I felt like I wanted to do something different in the industry. And the whole Aiir concept was kind of on a idea that well-being and wellness and great high performance products aren't really connected. And anyways, I know the innovation is a little bit different or whatnot, but I'm all about kind of balance. Like, I go to yoga, but do I drink a glass of wine at night? Yes. So that's kind of where the idea for Aiir kind of came from, is that, you can still have something luxury and then have something a little bit edgy and holistic too. So I had this crazy idea. So I wear this ring all the time.
Right.
This is black onyx, and it actually represents, like, it keeps negativity away from you, whether you believe in that stuff or not. Like, I feel like it's a really good reminder for myself to just like block out the negativity, haters, whatever. So and my mother-in-law is actually a gemologist. So she is a jeweler. So just talking with her, and she, kind of was like, oh, there's all these different kinds of stones and that represent this and that. And I started looking into it, and that's where I got the idea for crystal infused products.
That's pretty cool. So, I mean, help me out. How are they crystal infused? I mean, isn't a stone or isn't crystal like a hard substance? So how are you making it like a liquid or like a liquid line out of that?
So that's a great question. And that was the same questions that my lab had too. It was definitely very difficult, because since it hadn't been done, there had to be a lot of testing done on it to make sure that it was safe and how it was going to go down. So like, I have my texture Aiir right here. So this is our texture spray. It's called Texture Aiir. And actually, the crystal quartz and the mica that's in here has been pulverized to a very, very light micro dust. So it's actually like, so the idea and concept for that was really, well, one, the crystal quartz, because it helps kind of ward negativity, but also mica. Like, I don't know if you guys know what mica is, but if you ever look at a rock and there's like that glitter or like glimmery kind of substance in a rock, that's actually what mica is.
Oh, sweet.
So I was kind of thinking, well, shoot, texture spray is a matte finish. It's dry. And if you put silicone into a dry texture spray or dry shampoo, it's going to weigh the hair down. So the mica idea was that it will give a little bit of a reflective property, and it does. So it doesn't give a whole lot of shine, but you do see some reflectiveness with the mica and the crystal quartz infused.
That's brilliant.
It's really brilliant, isn't it?
Oh my goodness. And it's funny because as we get more involved in this, she's not just talking the talk. I mean, this thing is self-funded, correct?
Yeah, 100%.
100. Who has the cojones, or, you know what I mean? The guts, I got this idea and I'm going to fund it. A product line is not cheap.
Oh,
And
I can't imagine.
to fund it 100% yourself, you truly got to believe in the product. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, it's easy to find funding, but to actually fund it yourself, I mean, that's mad respect right there.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Well, I tried to get it funded. That's actually what I was doing in LA when I saw you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I had some potential investor meetings there, but it was really difficult because my idea was so unusual. So
there was again, and then she's like, you know what? I'm not going to accept that.
It pissed me off. Right. It pissed me off. I was like, what? Like, okay, watch me kind of thing, So
I love that.
But with that being said, it's not like I have a ton of money and I was able to do this. I was smart. Like, I spent all my money on my app 2 years ago. And then I made that money, I put it away, and then I rolled it into Aiir. And it's not like I had, I didn't put a whole lot into it, but December 17th of last year, so that was what, 2018, I paid for all my Christmas presents. I was ahead. I paid my bills. And I just looked at my husband and I go, because at this time I was looking for funding, you guys. Okay. Right. And I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. I have all these formulations. I've worked on the packaging. I've done all these things. I don't know what to do. And I told my husband, I go, we're caught up. The kids have Christmas. I'm going to use our life savings and I'm going to put an order in for 15,000 texture sprays. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to launch a website. Everything's going to be okay. And I just made the decision that I was going to do it. So then, with that being said, that was like the first product and the hair refresher. And then since then we've made money from it, so, and I haven't paid myself a dime at all.
Yeah, we know.
I'm hoping soon.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir right here, man. Right. So Jenny, all right, I know that you have a lovely, supportive husband, but there had to be concern in that conversation.
I mean, 100%, but I mean, I don't know. He kind of lets me do what I want. He knows, how determined I am. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't know. He's completely supported it.
Like a pretty amazing.
And it hasn't been easy. These so what? That's been like 10 months almost. Like it's been really shitty, and it's been difficult. Just it's scary. And I even like in January when I made December I made the decision, but in January I just got all my finances together. We took off DirecTV and we got Hulu for the kids. And we just kind of really looked where we were kind of spending a lot of money that we were wasting. And we,
figured it out.
Downsized. Yeah.
He's been with her for a while. It's easy for you and I to say, oh, wow, that'd be tough to have that conversation, that kind of life savings. But he's witnessed things that, what? I'm going to peace out for 9 months, come back, boom, bigger and stronger. You know what I mean? So he's seen these growths. Right. So he was like, you know what? Do what you got to do because I believe in you, honey.
I believe in you.
Yep.
Pretty awesome, man. What's your husband's name? Let's give him a shout out.
His name is Casey. He's great.
Casey.
Casey,
get out of the way. She's making shit happen.
I know. But with that being said, it all worked out because he's a metal fabricator. And so he was like, I got to get a bigger space, like 2,600 square foot shop. And so anyways, Aiir rents out half of it for our product. So, it all kind of worked out.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
That's really awesome. Hey, so what's happening in 2 weeks?
Oh my gosh, 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks already? Oh my gosh. Yeah, so 2 weeks we are doing an Aiir gathering, and it is our second one. So basically the Aiir gathering is where a lot of hairstylists come into town and we do a hair jam. It's full of education. It's full of inspiration. We're going to be talking about all the new products. Tickets are actually intro kits to the product line. So that's really fun. It's the first time that hairstylists are going to see actual physical labeled products of all of Aiir's products. So we have 8 altogether, but we'll probably have 6 at the gathering. And then another 2 will be a couple weeks after that. So it's a little different. Like the first gathering we did was different. We got people talking for sure.
That's cool. So when, so any hairdresser can go? I mean, like anybody can kind of show up in Scottsdale?
Yeah. Well, they have to buy a ticket for it.
No, right. So where can they get tickets?
They can get tickets on airprofessional.com. And then if you head to the shop, there's like an Aiir gathering ticket option.
And that's Aiir is AIIR, right?
Yes. That was like the 4th name that I had for Aiir. Oh my God.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. So that's, so the gathering is October
5th and 6th. Mm-hmm.
Where?
In Scottsdale, Arizona.
And if you're going to fly in, you have to fly into Phoenix, I found out.
Yep.
I didn't realize.
Easy.
Yeah. So Aiir was your 3rd or 4th name. What were your other ones?
Well, I wanted, they sound so stupid now.
No,
like, cause
to.
I wanted something weird and an element and whatever. Cause all of the products, they not only have crystals, but like some have volcanic ash and marigold and I don't know, like a lot of different holistic elements. So I needed something earthy. So I wanted, it was going to be called Ether, but with an A. And then I tried AYR, AER, I don't know, just the trademarks and stuff. And, you know, Walmart owns half of the great names out there, I found out. They trademarked everything for hair care. It sucks. Yeah.
Wow. They monopolized the hair care stuff, right?
Totally.
Including Pureology, because you can get it right on their shelves.
Really?
I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out.
Oh.
I don't know.
You're spreading rumors.
You get TG there.
Yeah, totally can.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna get some hate mail now.
Jenny is.
Yeah.
Jenny's getting hate mail.
So how can our listeners just find you, follow you, kind of keep up to what you're doing?
Yeah, so followers can follow me on Instagram at The Confessions of a Hairstylist. And then inside that bio, there's all the links to my YouTube, my app, my Facebook, all of those things. And then if they're interested in Aiir, it's on Instagram, Aiir Professional, and it's AIIR Professional, and airprofessional.com. They can sign up for a newsletter and they get all the inside scoop about any upcoming product launches and educational stuff and all of the things. So
that's awesome.
And constant positivity.
That's it. That's it. Unfollow negativity.
Yeah.
And what was a positive influencer? Right?
Yep. Positive influencer.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Much love.
Yeah, Jenny.
Much love.
Much love. I wish we could make it out to the gathering, but we're not going to be able to make it this year. But you said next time, right? Next time we're there.
Yeah. We'll actually plan it out. I'm going to have like my stuff organized. Cause this is actually the second Aiir gathering. Mm-hmm. And so there's just a lot of different components because we're fully launching and there's just so many people that are coming into town, but we're going to do another one in spring. So you guys have to be there.
We'll definitely be there. Let's who are some of the people that are showing up?
Rebecca Taylor, Cassandra Platinum, Blush and Maine, Erica Keelan, Tucker J. Styles.
Nice. And if you come out, you'll get a chance to meet all these people, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. So we're going to do our panel and then we're going to do like a mix and mingle cocktail reception after.
Oh, what's your panel going to be about?
It is going to be industry related stuff, like super raw. And I wish you guys were the podcast, experts, but that's okay. Next one. But yeah, I mean, cause really this is the thing. Like I wanted to be able to showcase so many different opportunities within our industry. Like you don't have to just be a stylist on Instagram. You can be color focused like Rebecca. You can be an entrepreneur like myself. You can be a brand expert like Cassandra, an editorial stylist like this gal, Tracy Barrett, that we have. She's an agency repped hairstylist. So I just wanted to really showcase like all the different avenues than just being like an Instagram star doing X, Y, and Z. So we're really just trying to showcase that there's so many different types of career paths that you can go within the industry.
I love you, Jenny Strebe.
Yep.
Oh, you're so sweet. I love you guys.
You're amazing. Jenny, thanks for your time. Thanks for making a couple minutes for us to be able to record this. We love everything that you're doing in the industry. We love you, and apparently we love Casey too because he's letting you shine, kid.
That you do you.
I mean, he doesn't really have a choice, to be honest with you.
You're right.
Smart
but man. Like in his defense, though, he's watched it slowly build, and every time we take a risk, it's just getting a little bit bigger. So it's not like 7 years ago, I just decided to do a product line. Like, I've kind of eased myself into the
progression of it.
Yeah, 100%. So
love that. Jenny Strebe, once again, thank you very, very much for joining us on your day off. Well, the Jennings never has a day off, let's be clear.
No, I'm like, no, I don't. But thank you guys so much. You guys rock.
Hey, so there it is. Hey, this is a message that we've been trying to bring, I don't know, for the last couple of months, actually since we started the podcast. Hey, so if you like the podcast or if you find that it's useful, please leave us a review, a 5-star review on iTunes. Leave us a rating and a review.
But if you don't like it, forget about it.
Yeah, totally forget about this message. We also want to thank Sarah and Blaine from Pretty Gritty. Sarah and Blaine, they are a band out of Portland, Oregon, and we just want to thank them very much for allowing us to use their song, Pleased to Meet You, on our podcast. That's cool. I think you can find, actually you can find their music on iTunes.
Peace and hair grease.